Alright, General Code of Regulations, 7th edition of April 1st, 2015. 10 rules. Applicability only centralized traffic control authority to the end of the centralized traffic control. The central traffic control limits are designated with the timetable citing with the central traffic control limits are controlled sightings and are governed by the centralized traffic control. Trainmen must not enter or occupy any traffic when the central traffic control is effective. The left the control signal display will proceed indicate for the control operator authorized movement to the pass a stop indication rule 9.12.1 centralized traffic control territory. Train enter between the block signals with the 12 of the train at locations have the authority to enter for the track and then proceed with the direction after enter for the track with the train is authorized to move the only in the direction specified. Track and time rule under 10.3 with the track and time. Signal governs the movement over the hand operated switch. The signal governs the movement over the hand operated switch if it's not electrically locked with the control system operator must authorize the train to enter the occupy enter with the train with the central traffic control is effective before the switch is open after the switch is open, but the signal does not display the proceed indication. The crew must must wait 10 minutes after the switch. After 10 minutes waiting, the signal does not display the proceed indication of the movement of the train and restricted speed with notified by the control operator. However, the block is entered with the occupied with the outstanding train. When a hand operated switch train remains open, the movement made after stop at the path, the absolute signal display with the stop indication waiting without the 10-minute without contacting the control operator. You're the train occupying with the block operator, the hand operated switch stop indication movement that may have to stop at the enter of the block without contacting the control operator. Clear through the hand operated switch. The central traffic control is in effect. The train must not clear with any of the track hand operated switch not equipped with an electrical switch lock except under the following conditions. When the permitted maximum authorized speed does not exceed 20 miles an hour with the main traffic controlled siding, the 20 mile an hour track is not equipped with electronic switch of where the train may clear with a signal equipped with the intermittent signals and shit. With a permanent maximum authorized speed does not exceed 30 miles an hour with a controlled siding not equipped with the intermediate signal track equipped with electrical switch lock where the train may clear. Siding not equipped with the intermediate signals. Diagram B, when signals govern the movement over the track with the central traffic control is in effect with the track not equipped with electrical switch lock where train may clear. Signals governing the movement. When the hand-operated switch is kept open, the track is not equipped with the electrical switch lock where the train may enter with the switch clap is open. Diagram D, track and time. Control operator may authorize the train to occupy with the track of the tracks with the specified limits with a certain time period they authorize may include with the track designation track limits either the time alignments beyond the words until the release the train may use the track either in direction with the specified limits according to the signal indication and the limits of the verbally release. Limited design by a switch extended with only signal governing movement over the switch and left the otherwise designated west switch with the limits extended only with the signal government movement over the switch east switch and then the track time between switch of the Anna east switch Anna. Hope. Track and time does not authorize the train to occupy with the tracks for the interlocking limit. The passing signal will display with the signal and stop proceeding indication except for the interlock the train is granted the track time. After stop, the signal displaying the stop indication must be granted verbal authority to enter the limits of either end. Verbal authority is not required after stopping with the limits when entering the limits of any other location. The train must move with the restricted speed, observe the requirements of the inspection of spring switch as many pass the signal with limited displaying stop to proceed indication without stopping. Time limits. Train must relieve the track with the time before with the granted time expired with the necessary with the modified with the expiration time and the employee with the control operator must communicate before the time expired with the adjusted time granted. Employee cannot contact with the control operator with the time limit expressed with the authority extended by the control operator with the contacted. Release within the limits of the employee with the release of the track with the time must state with the name of the other identification track and the time limit is being released and including the number if applicable no other employee has received the time in the same limit the train within the limits may relieve the track of the time and move the specified direction signal indication will govern the train if the control operator verbally authorizes release of the specific direction of the movement. Releasing the portion with the limit the crew must members inform the control operator of the authority release between the two specific points of the authorized considered void between those points of the track release must begin at the outer limit of the authority. Protection limits before granting a track and time of the control operator must apply with the blocking and marking devices to the control machine to prevent the movement of the into the limits for the control operator may only grant the track and the time if the limits are cleared. The limits are occupied with the train with the track with the time and that will receive the track and time. For engine switch and the train standing within the limits of the crew member engine must provide protection against the possible move of the standing of the train if necessary. After all the trains move with it within the limits do not have the track of the time have passed the location where the track will be occupied. The employee have been notified of the authority that granted behind such trains. Blocking marking devices must be not changed and removed until the limits of that have been released to the control operator. Protection of the machine of the track car of the employees. Machine track cars employees will receive the track of the time in the same manner as the train. Machine of the track car of the employees must be clear with the limits before the employee with granted the track of the time released to the authority. Joint track of the time. Before track of the time is granted with where the limits of the jointly occupied with the control operator must issue the joint track of the time and involve the train with the machine of the track car of the employees with the same limits with the end of the limits. Train must remove the restricted speed within the joint track of the time limits. Track time and acknowledgement. Track time and authority must record with the repeated with the control operator. Acknowledgement must be received before being acted upon with the control operator must retain with the record of the authority granted. Chapter 11, the rules applying to the ATCS and ATS territories establishing absolute block.